Reversion. 2 weeks later, I went to the dissemination center. I was really scared and afraid to say something wrong. My friend Khalid and his wife took me, and it was very emotional. In the end, everyone we had tears in our eyes. I cried all the time in the car, on the way home. Update. Still, all was not as it should be. By changing my lifestyle, I had become a TV addict. My whole life now revolved around prayer and TV at night. I wasn't happy, but she was too lazy to do anything about it. I tried to read my books, but I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. So rumors to my respect began to circulate in the hospital and began to come back to me. Right, it really me off, because I hated that my life was the center of the curiosity of all and hated to be the focus of slander and rumors. I went home one night and I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. I hated to arrive and watch TV all night and not see and don't talk to anyone. The endings of week had become a nightmare. Sometimes I didn't see no one all weekend. I felt lost and alone. The time for the night prayer came and I didn't want to pray. It had never happened to me before and me irritated. I cried a lot for 2 hours. The next day my eyes they were swollen and I spent the day crying. Khalid kept asking me what I was wrong, and at first I didn't tell him, because I felt ashamed, even though I said the prayer because I knew I had to. Finally I told him and he assured me that he felt that way from time to time and that I must have felt bad or angry about it. That I needed to change my lifestyle, playing tennis, shopping, reading a book. I kept going arguing that it would not help because he still needed to talk to people and that I would still feel alone. That night I went home and I felt like I was retreating. I felt that I could not go on. After my prayer I prostrated myself and prayed fervently, for please, God, don't let me lead away from you, don't let me lead away from you. I sat down and turned to the short verses in the back of the Quran and found Al-Takathur, and after reading them I realized that I had to let go of all these things that I kept going on, like TV and the concern for people and what they thought about. I had to learn to disengage. And I felt like all my worries had gotten out of my shoulders. The next day in the prayer when I finished my prayer, I had a feeling to put my hands in front of me as I pleaded. I had seen people doing this, but I never understood what it was for. I stretched out my hands and prayed to God for me help to disengage and try to be a better person. So I put my hands on my face and I felt a tingling sensation and well-being and peace. Feared move and the sensation fade. But that didn't happen. That day at work I received a visit from a guy from the IT department, Anwar. I never had it found before, but he had heard of me. He told me about the Raji Mosque and that there were classes in English on a Friday. I decided I would that Friday. That week I didn't watch TV, I played tennis and asked one of our limousine drivers whom I trusted to take me to the mosque. Friday morning, it was very nervous and at the last minute I felt like I didn't want to go. What if I went to the mosque wrong? What if something went wrong? When I left I prayed to God to guide me and allow everything to go well. And everything went well. I found the Samirs, an expatriate family from Sri Lanka, who lived and works in Saudi Arabia, my new family, who took me to their home and treated me like I was part of the family. May God bless and reward you. I thank Him every day for choosing them and for allowing me to find them.